Today's top stories. Tribal leaders denounce before lawmakers the Salugpungan schools as fronts of the New People's Army. 2 people are killed in a grenade explosion in a mosque in Zamboanga City. The House approves a bill allowing the regulated use of marijuana for medical purposes. And the DSWD suspends conditions for redeeming cash grants for victims of Tropical Depression Usman in the Bicol region.
Good day, I'm William Theo. Welcome to the PNA Newsroom. Tribal leaders of indigenous peoples in Mindanao faced lawmakers to denounce the abuses of the CPP-NPA. Among their complaints against the rebels are the establishment of schools as communist fronts and the trampling of their rights. Joyce Cudis filed this story.
Several tribal leaders and students faced the House Committee on Indigenous Cultural Communities and Indigenous Peoples, where they revealed the atrocities they suffered at the hands of the CPP-NPA. This as lawmakers delve into the role and legality of the Salugpungan Community Learning Center in Talaingod, Davao del Norte. Dato Ramon Bayaan, a tribal leader in Talaingod, said the IPs no longer want the Salugpungan in their communities. He assailed the NPA for using alternative learning schools as fronts and training grounds to brainwash tribes to fight the government. The leaders denounced the Pasaka Confederation of Lumad Organizations in Southern Mindanao, a group supportive of the Salugpungan, as a front of the CPP-NPA. Joel Dahusay, another IP leader, meanwhile revealed that the NPA is forcing them out of their communities. He said he is resisting them as he recognizes the IPs have rights under the Indigenous Peoples' Rights Act of 1997. Members of the Makabayan Bloc tried to deflect the NPA issue by hammering on the legality of the Salugpungan schools. School officials also denounced what they called harassment by paramilitary groups. Meantime, Undersecretary Allen Capuyan, Presidential Advisor for IP Concerns, called on the ICCs and IPs to unite since it is only them who can settle their differences. He also urged the Department of Education to look into the concerns of the IPs over the Salugpungan. For the PNA Newsroom, I am Joyce Cudis.
President Rodrigo Duterte defended the military from criticism following the church bombing in Jolo, Sulu. The president shrugged off reports of security lapses leading to the bombing. He said while authorities strive to prevent such bombings, it is also typical for the suspects to plan ahead in committing their crimes. He clarified that the government is not washing its hands of the incident. PNP spokesperson Bernard Banak said the lockdown in Jolo is expected to be lifted as soon as investigators are done with evidence gathering. The death toll in Jolo twin bombing has climbed to 21. 97 remain wounded, with 54 of them still confined in medical facilities. Meanwhile, the Armed Forces of the Philippines told the public not to believe viral messages on alleged bombing plots following the Jolo incident. The military advises everyone to report possible threats to authorities. The House of Representatives passed on third and final reading a measure that would allow the use and research of medical marijuana in the country. House Bill number 6517, or the Philippine Compassionate Medical Cannabis Act, has the support of President Rodrigo Duterte and House Speaker Gloria Macapagal-Arroyo. Isabela Representative Rodolfo Albano III, who is the principal author of the bill, says the regulation of controlled substances for medicinal purposes underwent exhaustive consultation with all stakeholders. He says the enactment of the bill will help patients suffering from debilitating medical conditions such as cancer. He also stressed that the bill does not promote the use of marijuana for recreational purposes. Under House Bill 6517, only licensed hospitals, doctors, and caregivers can dispense and issue prescriptions for medical cannabis. Likewise, medical cannabis patients will also be issued special identification cards. The alleged rapist of a Filipina OFW in Saudi Arabia is now in the custody of local authorities upon the request of the Philippine Consulate General in Jeddah. The Department of Foreign Affairs said the suspect is a Saudi national representing the victim's recruitment agency. The suspect reportedly fetched the victim from the consulate after assuring the Philippine Overseas Labor Office or POLO that she will be transferred to another employer. The suspect took the victim to a hotel where she was allegedly raped. The victim came up with an excuse for the suspect to bring her back to the consulate, and she was able to contact the authorities. The Consulate General is assisting the victim in the case. The Department of Transportation stresses the importance of stiff penalties against traffic violators, and Filipinos are warned against online job recruitment. More on these and other news around the metro from Benj Bondok.
The Department of Transportation or DOTR says imposing stiffer penalties against traffic violators would instill discipline and make roads safe. The department made this reaction amid calls by Senator Grace Poe to suspend the imposition of higher fines against traffic violators, which she believes is unjustly harsh. 27 Filipinos residing in the Cuban capital of Havana were reported safe from killer tornado. The tornado that struck on January 28 killed 3 and injured nearly 200 others. According to reports, the twister, which is the worst in recent years, also caused coastal flooding and power outage in poor areas. The Department of Foreign Affairs warned Filipinos against illegal recruiters offering jobs through social media. This after a 27-year-old OFW in Dubai ended up with a spinal fracture after jumping off a building to escape. She said she was locked up by her recruiter and was not fed. She reportedly took a job offer via social media and entered the United Arab Emirates using a tourist visa. For the PNA Newsroom, I'm Benj Bondo.
Still to come, 2 people are killed in a grenade explosion in a mosque in Zamboanga City. A privacy watchdog investigates a data breach that hit over 8,000 Globe subscribers. More on these when the PNA Newsroom continues.
Ulat sa ginagawa ng presidente. January 18, Biyernes, Cotabato City. Hinimok ni Paulong Rodrigo Roa Duterte ang Moro community na bumoto pabor sa ratifikasyon ng Bangsamoro Organic Law.
I am therefore issuing this call to my fellow Moro. Let us use the plebiscite as a peaceful means to finally correct the historical injustice committed against the Bangsamoro people, or the Moro people of Mindanao. Let us forget the bitterness of the past and look forward to the future. Which means, ladies and gentlemen, mga mahal kong mga Moro brother or sister, magboto kayo ng yes.
January 21, Lunes, Malacanang. Tinanggap ng Pangulo ang credentials ng mga bagong ambassador mula sa Lithuania, Peru, Republic of the Gambia, Republic of Sudan, Turkmenistan at Uganda. Nag-courtesy call din sa Pangulo si Japanese Ambassador Koji Haneda. January 22, Martes, Lucena City. Panauhing pandangal si Pangulong Duterte sa taunang assembly ng Provincial Union of Leaders Against Illegality. January 23, Miyerkules, Pasay City. Dumalo ang Pangulo sa Tricycle Operators and Drivers Association o TODA Summit sa Cuneta Astrodome. Ako po si Secretary Martin Andanar. At ito ang Duterte on Duty. Abangan sa susunod na linggo ang mga gagawin ng Pangulo.
Another bombing occurred in Mindanao. A grenade exploded in a mosque in Zamboanga City, which left 2 people dead and 3 others injured. The incident happened at the Maharlika Mosque in Sitio Logoy, Jutay, Barangay Talon-Talon. The victims, who are known as tablig or preachers, were reportedly asleep inside the mosque when an unidentified person tossed a grenade. Investigation continues in a bid to unmask the people behind the grenade attack. The Ulama Council of Zamboanga Peninsula condemned that they called a devilish, irrational, and inhuman act. They called on the public to be calm and vigilant and report any suspicious activity to authorities. Manila Bay shoreline between the Manila Yacht Club and the U.S. Embassy could be temporarily closed to the public for rehabilitation and cleanup. Environment Secretary Roy Cimatu says the promenade would remain open so that the public can do leisurely activities such as strolling, jogging, and watching Manila Bay sunset. Signs and markers would be installed so that the public can be guided accordingly. Cimatu says the rehabilitation of the shoreline from the U.S. Embassy to the Manila Yacht Club is a priority to prevent untreated effluent from flowing out. 3 existing sewage outfalls from directly discharging into Manila Bay. The sewage would be treated in the facility before flowing into Manila Bay. The National Privacy Commission is investigating on the data breach involving Globe Telecom, which may have put at risk the personal information of over 8,800 subscribers. Supposedly qualified Globe customers were asked to register their full names, complete addresses, and mobile numbers to avail of tickets to the concert of Korean pop group Blackpink on February 2nd. The mistake was discovered when the confirmation receipts containing personal information were sent to the wrong people. The NPC said Globe has notified them of the data breach, which they could claim to have occurred due to a system error. It advised affected users to monitor their accounts and change their security credentials to prevent identity theft. For its part, Globe acknowledged the mistake and has taken down the site. 3 members of the New People's Army surrendered to the Philippines Army 2nd Infantry Division in Batangas. The surrenderers turned over several firearms, including a .30 caliber M1 carbine and 222 caliber rifles. Surrenderers belong to a rebel band that apparently disbanded late last year. They have been enrolled to government's Enhanced Comprehensive Local Integration Program. 45 former rebels have so far surrendered to Southern Luzon military authorities and subsequently enrolled in the E-CLIP program. Hundreds of families lose their homes to a fire in Bataan. Meanwhile, about 2,000 drivers in Cebu are being trained to operate modern public utility vehicles. More on this and other stories from the provinces from Janice Cabe.
In Bataan, fire razed hundreds of houses, affecting more than 800 families in Barangay Kapunitan in Bataan Tuesday morning. Initial reports indicated that children playing with a match caused the fire that was eventually put under control past noontime. No one was hurt in the incident. In Cebu, around 2,000 public utility jeepney drivers from Lapu-Lapu City have been trained to manage the first fleet of modern jeepneys under the national government's Jeepney Modernization Program. LTFRB 7 launched the Drivers Academy, which gives training to drivers who responded to the call of the government to embrace jeepney modernization. The city's public electronic jeeps will be launched on February 8. Meanwhile, DSWD Region 8 relaunches anti-EPAL campaign to remind 4Ps beneficiaries that no politician or any group can delist them from the program and that they have the right to choose their leaders freely without being threatened or intimidated. The anti-EPAL campaign is in line with the directive of DSWD Secretary Rolando Joselito Bautista Jr. to avoid partisan activity. For the PNA Newsroom, I'm Janice Cabe.
Up next, the DSWD suspends conditions for redeeming cash grants for victims of Tropical Depression Osman in the Bicol region. The Philippines bags 45 medals in the Asian Sudoku Championship. The PNA Newsroom returns after these reminders.
Ako po, ma'am, si Uliana Lorito Bobier. 52 taon ko. Yung asawa ko si Virgilio Bobier, 55 taon niya. Anak namin, ma'am, 12. Kami, tanim ng mga gulay, ma'am. Yun ang namin sa pang-araw-araw namin. Masaya kami, ma'am, kasi nadagdagan yung sa amin na sa purpose. Ay kami pangbiling bigas, ulam, yun. To, binili namin ng simento, pinayos namin sa bahay. Yung binigay, ay kung ano ma'am, nababasa kami kasi kurtina lang. Yung dingding namin kasi wala kaming biling idingding. Maraming salamat sa DSWD. Maraming tulong yung DSWD diyan sa munisipyo sa amin. Kasi mahirap kami, ma'am.
DSWD, katuwang ang mga kapuspala.
The Department of Social Welfare and Development temporarily suspends the conditions of the Pantawid Pamilyang Pilipino program, or 4Ps, to help families affected by Tropical Depression Usman last December. Beneficiaries will receive their cash grants in full from December 2018 until January 2019, even if they aren't able to comply with the 4Ps conditions. Over 200,000 household beneficiaries in Albay, Camarines Norte, Camarines Sur, and Sorsogon will benefit from the suspension. Under the program, a beneficiary family receives a monthly health grant of 500 pesos, an education grant of 300 per child per month in elementary, or 500 per child per month in high school. The family also receives 600 pesos worth of rice subsidy per month. DSWD has so far provided a total of 29.2 million pesos worth of assistance to families affected by Usman. And in our foreign news, Singapore apologized for the data leakage of over 14,000 people diagnosed with the human immunodeficiency virus. An American citizen who had links with the National Public Health Unit has been accused of leaking online personal information of Singaporeans and foreigners diagnosed with HIV. Health Minister Gan Kim Yon says his ministry will continue to strengthen and review their systems and that their priority remains on the patient's well-being. Singapore suffered another data breach in mid-2018 when hackers stole the confidential information of 1.5 million patients, including those of Prime Minister Lee Hsien Loong. In sports, the Philippines won 45 medals at the 2019 Asia Sudoku Championship in Clark, Pampanga. Over 100 contestants from 6 countries joined the Sudoku competition, including current and 4-time world Sudoku champion Kota Morinishi. China emerged first overall with 46 medals consisting of 16 gold, 13 silver, and 17 bronze medals, followed by India with 4 gold, 2 silver, and 2 bronze medals. The Philippines finished third with 45 medals consisting of 2 gold, 14 silver, and 29 bronze medals. Japan took home 2 gold, 4 silver, and 1 bronze medal, while South Korea grabbed 1 gold, 1 silver, and 2 bronze medals, and Thailand won 2 silver medals. The military continues to watch over Marawi amid its campaign against terrorists. The AFP assures its ongoing operations against the Maute will not affect peace efforts in Marawi. More on this from Sweet Lukman.
Following a firefight between the military troops and the Maute ISIS remnants in the town of Sultan Dumalundong in Lanao del Sur, the armed forces of the Philippines has ensured the safety of the residents against violent terrorism. Colonel Romeo Bronner Jr., commander of the 103rd Haribon Infantry Brigade, Philippine Army, reassured the general public that the recent deliberate military operations will not affect the current tranquility of the city. This will not have any sensible effect in the Islamic city of Marawi. He added that the security sector is keeping their eye against the remaining members of Maute ISIS to protect the people of Lanao del Sur from the spread of violent extremism. Bronner assured our security forces from the AFP, PNP, and the Barangay Peacekeeping Action Team are well postured to secure Marawi City. The military vowed to thwart any attempt of the Maute ISIS to spread its wrong ideologies again, especially that the rehabilitation of the conflict-affected city is now going on. Together with Laid Gabagani, for PNA Newsroom, Sweet Lukman, Philippine Information Agency.
Let's now check out the weather forecast for Metro Manila and the rest of the country. Let's take another look at today's top stories.
Tribal leaders denounce before lawmakers the Salugpungan schools as fronts of the New People's Army. 2 people are killed in a grenade explosion in a mosque in Zamboanga City. The House approves a bill allowing the regulated use of marijuana for medical purposes. And the DSWD suspends conditions for redeeming cash grants for victims of Tropical Depression Usman in the Bicol region.
Thank you for watching another edition of the PNA Newsroom. To check out these and other stories, visit the PNA website or follow the Philippine News Agency on Facebook and Twitter. For more stories about the government and how it serves the Filipinos, look for these hashtags in all of our social media platforms and websites. And that's your daily dose of the latest news and information that you need to know. From the PNA Newsroom, I am William Theo. Good day.